We're back.
All right. So some of our listeners and viewers may have gotten part of this, but we had some technical difficulties and I saw it happening, Becca. So I'm going to let you pick up from where you were just to bring everybody quickly up to speed because I know Becca's on a time schedule also. So we're just going to continue. And as long as she can stay with us, we'll stay with us. We have it scheduled. We can run a little over if you're available, Becca. But please continue. So tell everyone about the month for those that were blocked out and now that you're with us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just do a little quick recap. So this month of the 24th through the 30th, so right around, the holiday, the Thanksgiving holiday, is Gastroesophageal Reflux Disorder or GERD Awareness Week. And I wanted to cover this topic just because I think it is something that, probably more people than we realize are experiencing this. Whether it be, reflux, which is the most common symptom on a daily or maybe a few days a week. That's a little bit more than we would want someone to be having this, and you should definitely follow up with your healthcare provider if you think you are, because GERD, as I mentioned before, and for those that maybe didn't catch this, GERD can lead to asthma, it can lead to esophageal cancer, and also, what am I missing? Oh, tooth corrosion. So it can cause damaged teeth. So which, obviously nobody wants any of those things. So we want to really be paying attention. If you are having some symptoms like, of course, the reflux, which again is the most common symptom, nausea, vomiting, chronic cough or chronic throat clearing is also one of the symptoms. So if that's something you experience, you definitely want to get that checked out. There's a lot of diet and lifestyle modifications that can be made as a first line before medication, or if you've been on medication for a while and want to try going off, you could try some of those diet and lifestyle modifications to see if you can get off that medication. So some examples of the diet, the foods and ingredients that tend to cause worse issues that you would want to avoid would be your high fat foods, mint, chocolate, alcohol, caffeine, and then your acidic and spicy foods. And there's a few things you can do lifestyle wise. So small frequent meals instead of larger meals, wearing loose fitting clothing instead of tight clothing, losing weight, quit smoking if you're a smoker, and then also making sure you're staying upright at least a few hours after meals, and definitely trying to avoid eating a couple hours before bedtime to help out. So yeah, so that was a little abbreviated version.
Oh, that was excellent. Thank you for doing that, Becca, because as everyone knows, and we're all live now, so I can remind everyone we had a little technical failure here, just getting everything out. But Becca, I would like to delve into a bit. You mentioned chocolate, which is one of my favorites. So that actually causes some GERD.
It doesn't necessarily cause it, but if it's something that's pretty heavy in your diet and you are experiencing some of those GERD symptoms, it would be something to look at either cutting back on or removing from your diet temporarily to see if that was the trigger.
Okay, so since I'm not having the issues, it's okay. I can stay with my chocolate.
You can keep eating your chocolate.
Because I love dark chocolate, and when I heard that, I said, okay, I got to ask Becca. So I will ask you. There was one of our listeners and viewers sent in a communication regarding a topic that I asked you that at some point if you could address also kidney function.
Oh, that's right.
And
I'm so sorry. I knew we were
no,
going
no,
to
this
talk.
is perfect because I really want to. I know you're going to address the topic in its entirety at a later time, but can you share with us some? I wasn't aware that everyone's kidneys are reducing function over time, the older we get. But I just, like everything else, just figured everything wears out, right? But what can you do from a dietary perspective to reduce, not eliminate, but reduce the rapid decline of kidney function, I guess?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And it really does depend on what stage your kidneys are at. So there's different versions of kidney disease. It goes 1 through 5. So stage 1 is the the least impacted that your kidneys are. So they're pretty high functioning still, but there might be a slight, you know, issue with their efficiency. Stage 2, it's a little worse. Stage 3, a little worse. Stage 4, pretty serious. Stage 5, you're on
On
dialysis.
dialysis. Okay, so now
Exactly.
let's look at it from a stage one perspective for a moment, if we could,
Sure.
because it was just a matter of knowing their numbers, I guess it was, that
Yeah.
told them that they needed to, maybe make some changes.
Sure.
So what can you eat to reduce
So a
that?
big part of it is hydration. We want to make sure our kidneys are nice and hydrated. That's what keeps them happy. So drinking plenty of fluids, make sure you're getting the right amount of electrolytes, not overdoing it is really important. But just having enough electrolytes in your body on a daily basis to help you retain that fluid so they can stay nice and hydrated. So
Okay,
that's probably number one. And then number two is not overdoing it on foods that put unnecessary stress on your kidneys. This goes for, it kind of increases in severity the further along you go, but not overdoing it on protein. There is such a thing as too much protein. And in the American diet, protein is so prevalent. It's very much a part of most people's every single meal. Everyone feels like they need to be drinking protein shakes and
every
just
day.
really loading up, doubling up on protein. But if you're eating more than your body can handle, and especially if you're not hydrated enough, that's
Okay.
going to put a significant stress on your kidneys.
So part of this immediately goes back to the hydration that we always talk about.
Hmm.
And then the other component is the protein. So I like a protein shake every day.
And
I,
that's okay. Yeah, that's
yeah,
completely fine. We just wouldn't want to be, there's some people who feel like they need to be eating 200 grams of protein a day or even more than that. And that's gonna be not the best. I mean, certainly there's some people out there that it is appropriate for, but for your average Joe who, maybe works out a few days a week, lifts weights, but, still has a pretty normal lifestyle, it's not necessary.
okay.
Um, so yeah, and that's something that, you would want to work with a dietitian if you think you need that much protein, just to figure out if it's actually true or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's one thing is, making sure we're not overdoing it on protein. And then of course, just at stage one, just following all those principles of a healthful diet, making sure we're getting enough fruits and vegetables in our diet, not consuming too much sodium. Sodium is another big one that is going to be really, tough on your kidneys. A lot of people with either high blood pressure or diabetes end up with kidney issues as side effects of those conditions. So if you have one of those conditions, you definitely want to be staying hydrated, not overdoing it on the protein, and staying on top of your numbers too, checking your
Yeah.
lab work, making sure you're getting it done regularly and that everything looks good. So, um, sorry, hydration, protein, salt, not overdoing it on that. And then if you are diabetic, making sure you're not overdoing it on the added sugar, just carbs in general, keeping your blood sugars controlled. Those are all huge things to do. Um, yeah, those are kind
So,
of the
it's real important for all of us to be intentional. And this question, came to me and I said, well, Becca's going to be with us, so we're gonna have Becca address it. And it's good to understand, you are zooming in on this early. So, just the stage one portion where you notice your numbers. But the reality is, first of all, we've got to stay hydrated. Now, I don't know how much protein I take in a day, but now Becca has me looking. Now I'm going to go and look at the numbers because you mentioned 200, right? That's probably too much.
Well, I mean, it's different for everyone.
Everybody's body's different, but you're the expert here. So if you mentioned that number, there's a reason you mentioned that number.
Well, I've just heard of, I guess I'm going back to my days in school when I was studying
Yeah.
nutrition and, there would be a lot of guys that would be going to the gym and thinking that they needed to eat all this protein to maximize their gains. But it's really not necessary for most people unless you're a super high level bodybuilder.
Right.
There's no there's no need to eat that much protein
Which
from
I'm not, so we're good there. Uh, but all of these things are important, and I'm glad Becca's going through this with us because, first of all, I have to confess, until that became a question, I never really thought about the fact, all of our bodies are wearing out. I mean, they will. The longer we live, things are going to
We're
start.
not meant to live forever.
Yes, exactly. And so the reality is we've got to know where we are. We've got to know our numbers. And so I'm glad that you're on top of it so that I could ask Becca the question and it could be addressed. We just got to make certain that we're doing the right thing, that we're eating the right foods, that we're now Becca mentioned our fruits and vegetables. We probably want to amp up on that because I don't know over the Thanksgiving holiday that we're all going to be eating turkey and roasted lamb and whatever else you like to eat.
That sounds good.
And all of those are proteins, but we got to make sure we're getting our vegetables also, and we've got to stay hydrated. And I'm a big proponent for hydration, which is why we have Fiji Water as a sponsor, because hydration is important. But it doesn't matter. Really got to stay away from the sodas and the things that are not good. And now I sound like I'm the dietitian, but Becca can explore further. Obviously water is what we need to be drinking. But Becca, what else should people be drinking you mentioned staying away from the alcohol to keep our body functioning, effectively and efficiently. What else can we drink in addition to water for those who aren't big water drinkers, even though I encourage you to drink more and more water, particularly Fiji water?
You have to find what works best in your life. And that's the thing about nutrition and health and working with a dietitian. There is no one size fits all. So while water is the best thing to be drinking, if you just absolutely cannot drink water, there's going to be stages of what you can drink. So, maybe the step down from water would be like flavored seltzer waters. Well, that's still kind of water. Or maybe like a calorie-free like body armor or something like that. And then maybe a step down from that is diet soda. It's not ideal, but we kind of have to do what is best for us compared to what we're currently doing. So
Yes.
think of if you're currently only drinking soda all day, every day, can you switch to diet? If you're only drinking diet soda all day, every day, can you add in a sugar-free Gatorade? Can you add, so it kind of just depends on where you are. Of course, there's always the ideal, but we don't live in an ideal world. So
Well, you see, and we all have the opportunity to learn something every time Becca's with us, because you just mentioned sugar-free Gatorade, and I never even thought about sugar-free Gatorade. I just Gatorade, the normal
Gatorade
Gatorade.
Zero, whatever it's called. Yeah.
Right. But the reality is we're not being intentional about these things, and that's what has to change for us. Now, I'm going to say this because I've been asking everyone to sponsor our food pantry. I just ran the Rocky Run to and ask everyone to donate to sponsor our food pantry, so we raise money for the food pantry. But I have to tell you that because of Becca, and I'm going to say this to you, Becca, thank you very much. Because of all the things you shared throughout the year and the years, I had the healthiest run. I'm not setting any land speed records, but I had the healthiest half marathon run that I have ever had in 7 half marathons.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm gonna see how that works for my next time I run a full one. But I had the healthiest one this year. My recovery was very quick recovery. No issues at all on the run. And I contribute that to Becca's sharing knowledge with us, because all of those things that you shared along the way throughout the year, and even though I know we're getting on the time, Becca, and I know you're gonna, whenever you have to run, you can run. I did make sure we got an extra 15 minutes because
I can hang around.
so that you can hang out and share whatever you want to hear. But I'm sharing this with everyone because if we just apply the information Becca gives us every month, it's life-changing. It keeps us healthy. I said last year, I'm not on any medications. I had my annual physical this year. I'm still on no medications. My numbers are good, but a lot of that is contributed to you. Obviously I'm married to the food police, so that helps. But, she makes sure I eat right. Not all the time, I don't, but she encourages me to do so. But the information you share with us, Becca, if we just apply it every single month, it enhances the quality of our lives. It enhances our health and wellness. So I'm encouraging everyone, everything Becca shares with us, let's take it, let's apply it every month. And as the months go by the end of the year, we see the improvements. Now we're in November now, and I just ran that race, and I can contribute the fact that all year long, from January until November, information that Becca shared with us, I implemented it into my daily life in some form. Still not perfect, never going to be, but I'm using the information you shared. My weight is down, as I'm sure, Becca, you may have noticed, because Becca does keep me on point. But my weight is down. I had the healthiest run that I've had in 7 half marathons and 5 full marathons. So
Wow.
thank you,
That's
Becca,
amazing.
for all that you
Well,
do.
thank you for those kind words. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
I'm supplying the knowledge, but you're the one that's putting it into practice. So that is all you.
Well, thank you, but that's what we all need to do, and that's why I'm really on this soapbox right now, because I want everyone to take the information Becca gives us. Let's just work it the entire month. The things she shared with us as we go into the holidays. It's November. We've got Thanksgiving. Let's make certain that let's enjoy Thanksgiving, but let's enjoy it the right way. Then Christmas is going to come, and we're all going to, I can tell you, most of us particularly here in America, most of us from Thanksgiving till Christmas or
New
until
Year's
New Year.
even. Yeah.
Yeah. We're eating all kinds of good things. We're drinking all kinds of things we enjoy drinking, whatever that might be. I'm going to stick with Fiji water at fijiwater.com. However, if we just do these little things, they sound small, they're really huge, but the things that Becca shares with us, let's put them into practice, and let's finish this year really strong. Let's get in the habit. So Becca, what would you recommend that we eat for the Thanksgiving holidays? And I know
I'm so
you'll
glad you
share
asked.
some traditional things with us, but what else could we use to really finish out this year strong,
So
starting Thanksgiving?
with Thanksgiving, I want everyone to enjoy themselves. Eat turkey, eat mashed potatoes, eat your sweet potato pie. Those are vegetables, by the way, potatoes and sweet potatoes.
Yes.
Can we add other vegetables to the meal? Can we have, a green bean dish? Can we add, some sort of delicious salad or roasted carrots or roasted broccoli, asparagus? Let's get some veggies on the table. They may not be the main focus, of course, of the day, but let's make sure there's at least one non-starchy vegetable on the table. All right, that's my challenge for everyone that's listening today. We need to be eating more fruits and vegetables in our diets. That is just a fact.
Yes.
Well, at least in America, we are not eating enough fruits and vegetables on a daily basis. So we all need to be doing better. I want everyone to have at least one non-starchy veggie on their Thanksgiving table. So that's number one.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated throughout the holiday season. That's not only going to help, control our appetites so we don't overeat. It's going to keep our kidneys nice and happy. It's going to help us sleep better. So many benefits to staying hydrated through the holiday season. And then, so veggies is number one, hydration is number two. What else do I want to challenge you all to work on? Let's see. Do you have any input, Pastor Pope?
A little exercise during
Little
the holidays.
exercise. Yes, let's do some movement.
Yes,
Let's get moving. It's a little weird. Our weather's been a little milder this fall. But that just means there's more it's more temperaturally temper how to, what's the word? The temperature is okay for us to be getting outside, going for walks. I know the days are shorter, but can you get out on a lunchtime walk? Can you get out on a morning walk before your workday starts? We want to add a little bit of movement. If it's still too cold for you, can we do some movement indoors? We want to be doing some sort of movement every day.
And that was going to be my share factor because I have to confess, I haven't run all week since the run.
Well, I think you deserve a day or a week or a couple weeks off.
But we can do exercises in our home, and that's one of the things I try to share with people all the time. I mean, we have a total gym, we have we have barbells, things like that, but you can do push-ups, you can do leg lifts, you can do, if you're a
Air
sit-up
squat,
person, squats. Yes, you can do.
jumping
You don't
jacks.
need a lot of equipment to be able to do some exercise. Just get your heart rate up. So Becca is encouraging us to get some exercise during the holidays. I'm going to put you on the spot, Becca. Do you know what your menu is for Thanksgiving yet?
Ooh, we're still trying to work that out.
Okay, I was going to
There's
have folks steal
definitely gonna
something
be
from me.
turkey. There's
Yes.
definitely green bean casserole is a favorite of mine and my sister's. So there's
Okay.
definitely gonna be green bean casserole, which is not the healthiest way to have green beans, but it is a vegetable.
But you
Um,
can still have green beans if you're not going to have the casserole, everyone.
exactly.
Yes.
Yep. I'm probably gonna do some roasted carrots. We'll have stuffing, mashed potatoes, and then of course pie.
Okay. All right. Speaking of which, Becca, you are doing has a fundraiser cut off for your,
Nope, the fundraiser is still going. Yeah.
well,
So,
I have to confess, I ordered a pie. Can you give them
yeah,
a shout out and tell them where to go and order if I ordered a pie and so I have to confess. But Becca, if you can give a shout out and tell them where to go to donate.
absolutely, I will. And of course, thank you so much for your support, Pastor
Oh,
Pope.
absolutely.
So the organization I work for is a nonprofit in Philadelphia, and we do a fundraiser every year, which supports our Thanksgiving Day celebration. So, the pie sales are what is funding the ability for us to give all of our clients that we're serving a Thanksgiving meal for 4 people. So people who are battling chronic critical illnesses, who are on our medically tailored meal program, get to have a Thanksgiving meal with their loved ones.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to the pie sales. So they are on sale until the 24th, I believe. It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving. The pickup is the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. And we have pumpkin, apple, blueberry, what am I missing? Pecan, and then a salted caramel cheesecake. And there's pickup locations across the Philadelphia area, even in Delaware and New Jersey. 20 different locations if I didn't say that. And if you don't like pie or you don't live in the area, you could also just donate a pie, www.manapies.org.
There you go. I couldn't remember the
Thank
thank you very
you.
much. I got to remember where I'm supposed to pick up my pie, but
Delaware Running Company.
yes, that's it. There you go. Yes. So for those of us who are here, but let's support Becca's drive. It is going to really bless a lot of people. And I wouldn't have had it any other way. So as soon as Becca reached out, I ordered a pie. And I know you're probably saying that's just because I like pie, but I love you more. So it's but listen, we're getting ready to go into the holiday season. And I want to thank Becca for spending some extra time with us today because we had technical failure. But we're going into the holiday season. I heard I'm not a big carrot guy, but I heard Becca say she's having roasted carrots. So I'm going to encourage, I know we're going to be having cabbage, we're going to be having green beans, we're going to be having, other, I'm sure they're going to be having a lot of other green stuff. But we but we need to increase our fruits and vegetables. And as we go through this holiday, let's not overdo it so that we have to start all over at the beginning of the year. Let's maintain it until the end of the year. Let's finish the year strong. Becca's going to be with us next month at some point, as long as her schedule permits. And as we go into the new year, she'll be with us every month. I know you all love Becca almost as much as I do, but I've known Becca a very long time, and we are thankful for all that you do, Becca. But I had to give you a shout out today because I know there's no way that I would have had the healthy run that I had if I had not applied all of what you've shared. When I say all of, I've taken a lot of information away, and I hope everyone else has also, and just applied it to our daily lives. So I'm going to take another moment to say this to you, Becca. I hear from a lot of our listeners and viewers, and many of them have been talking about how they have applied what you shared to their daily lives and how it's helped them so much. And now they're asking more questions about other health questions regarding, as you can see, regarding, after getting their annual physicals, finding out their numbers. So Becca's going to be doing a lot of things with us next year that is really going to take us to a whole new level in our health and wellness in the coming year. So I'm looking forward to that because for purely selfish reasons, I'm feeling really great because of you, Becca. Thank you so much for all that you do. And if there's anything else you want to share before we shut down for the day, close out the broadcast, please feel free to go.
Well, I just want to share one quick reminder. I think we talked about it last year and maybe the year before, but this is the time of year that is so crucial to pay attention to your diet, your physical activity. The weight that we tend to gain over our lifetimes happens in the holiday seasons. It's not the rest of the year. It's the weight that we put on over the holidays. We never end up losing in the case of most people. So if we can maintain our weight through the holidays, we can maintain our weight as we age in life.
So I'm glad you said that because, may I keep you for another moment?
Sure.
I'm glad you said that because that's my goal for the end of the year is to
Maintain.
finish this year in my weight range that I've given myself a 5-pound range. And I want to be
Fluctuate 3 to 5 pounds a day.
yeah,
So
and I want to stay in that range as we close out the year because
that's an excellent goal.
Because it's been a year that I've been able, well, it's been a little over a year that I've been able to do this now. And so I want to get to the end of the year on that method. So Becca just reminded us, and most people don't even think about that because I have to say, I know that usually happens, but we don't think about it. We gain weight during the holidays, and then, as Becca said, we don't always get it off. So we just keep adding on every year that goes by. So let's finish this year strong. Let's maintain. Let's do what we know to do. And the reason we know to do it is because we have Becca the dietitian with us every month as our monthly contributor. Becca, thank you for being with us today. As always, I look forward to seeing you hopefully during the holidays. I know we'll text exchange, but hopefully I'll get to see you in the little angel during the holiday season.
You absolutely
will. Today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast has been brought to us by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. Once again, Becca the dietitian with us. As always, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everyone, and we will keep you informed when Becca will be with us in December because all of you have been asking, and I'm never tired of you asking, but I'm glad that you're asking. Becca will be with us. Stay at peace, and we look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day. God bless.